Hello friends, today we discuss about the behavior of capacitor and inductor on AC and DC power. So in earlier classes or before 12th we studied that inductor block AC and capacitor block DC. So we have to verify that circuit. So first of all I just use a resistive circuit. So over here this is my library and I am using multi-sim and I multi-sim for that purpose. So first I just drag and drop AC, DC power, ground, then I just go to the basics. Over here I just use a resistor, then I require a capacitor to study the behavior of capacitor, then I just drag and drop inductor. So I just close the library. Over here I just made the connection of a resistor, just drag and drop this ground, connect this, and in this case I also use a multimeter. Over here this is my multimeter. So just connect this, double click on this. Right now I want to check the current, series current. Here is current, voltage, resistance value in ohm, this is decibel, or over here it is the power supply. Right now my power supply is DC. So just close this. The value of resistance, let's say it is 2 ohm. So according to, and the value is voltage, DC voltage is, let's say, 10 volt. So according to the KVL, my current in this circuit, KVL KCL, the current is 10 by 2, it is 5 ampere. So let's check. So I just hit on this, and when I hit on run button, as you see my current is 5 ampere. So this is a basic simulation in multisim. So right now I want to check the behavior of my inductor. So I just stop the simulation. Over here I want to add an inductor in this circuit to study the behavior of an inductor. I just connect this, and in this case as you see the inductance value, let's say it is 0.1 Henry and tolerance is 0. Just OK. So again when I hit on run button, or here in case of DC my current is again 5 ampere. I just connect an inductor in series of resistance or in series of a voltage source. So as you see over here, this is my DC current. So I just stop this, and I want to check the behavior of this circuit in case of AC voltage. I just copy this over here. This is my another circuit. I just delete the DC power source. I just connect the AC power source, and in this case the voltage should be again 10 volt. So I just double click on this. The voltage is 10 volt, frequency is 60, and phase is 0. Okay. So as you see over here, I just double click on this. So over here this is my XMM2 second multimeter, this is my first multimeter. When I hit on run button, and over here you have to change the supply, power supply input. So as I hit on run button, as you see in case of DC voltage, for the same circuit, as you see over here, input voltage is 10 volt, but it is DC, resistance is 2 ohm, inductor value is 0.1 Henry. But in case of AC, over here this is my AC voltage 10 volt, resistance is again 2 ohm, and inductor value is again 0.1 Henry. So in case of AC, we got the current 264.037 milliampere, and in case of DC it is 5 ampere. So from here the current in case of AC is very less. So as we know, inductor block AC, but not completely, because there is some current which is nearly equal to 0. In case of DC, it pass the DC. Okay, so this is the case study of inductor. Now we will study about the behavior of capacitor for DC voltage and AC voltage. So for that purpose, I just stop this, delete this, delete the inductor, and I just place the capacitor in series with resistance. Over here, let's say it is 0.1 farad and tolerance is again 0. So I just copy this circuit, copy this. In case of multi-sim, you just put Control C on the component and Control V to copy. Okay, so again over here, now we study the behavior of capacitor. As we already know, the capacitor block DC and it will pass AC through it. So right now again the voltage is same, 10 volt in both the cases, but over here this is 10 volt DC, over here it is 10 volt AC. Resistance value is again same. So when I hit on run button, as you see over here, it is minus 693.889 femto ampere, and over here it is 5 ampere. So from here we can conclude capacitor and inductor. In case of capacitor, it will pass ACs, but it block DCs, not completely. But again, in case of inductor, it will pass DC, it blocks AC, not completely. Okay, so this is how we can study the behavior of capacitor and inductor using multisim. We can also simulate another circuits also for here. Thank you.